How's it going, everybody? This is going to be an Envoy exclusive video for you guys talking about the Illuminati, all the playtests we got to do with them, everything we learned from the tournament, and we're going to answer the big question. Does Illuminati, the full Illuminati, ruin Crucible for the majority of players, or does it really just screw over the Krakens? And I think you're going to laugh at the outcome of this. Let's get into it. Let's give the whole picture before we jump into what I think is going to be the funniest outcome of this, and maybe it leads to nerfs if enough of the right people are pissed off about it. Black Panther Shuri spawns in, gets charged. When Black Panther Shuri is charged, she lowers the assist chance of all enemies by 100%, so she's got that echo effect. And she stops your villain enemies from getting speed up. This is going to be your Superior 6, your Cabal members, your Masters of Evil members, which there's an interesting interaction. Let's just talk about that quickly. I'm not going to get into the nitty-gritty of the code because it's super complicated and it's an order of operations thing that's happening. Suffice it to say that if your first hit against the Illuminati team's Masters of Evil, they will get speed up. But on the second hit, if you've already attacked them like I did in the tournament, I started, my first hit was Superior 6, and then I went in for a cleanup with Masters of Evil. Shuri doesn't lose charges on spawn, so she is charged as she drops in, which affects the Masters of Evil. They don't get speed up on spawn if they're not the primary hit. And if they are the primary hit, well, you're not going to get anything done because they're just not strong enough off rip to deal with the Illuminati team. So that is just a huge nuke to our best teams. But it's not the end of the world. Like, we can still kind of overcome that, right? Then we got Hank Pym. The biggest part of Hank Pym's passive is increase apply speed up to self and all Illuminati allies. Now, he's a fairly fast character at 127. Black Panther is 133. So these are very fast characters. So we have to stop them from getting speed up. Because if we don't stop Hank Pym from getting speed up 127, being super fast, he quickly applies Safeguard for 2 turns to self and all Illuminati allies. He's also going to barrier them for 24% of his max health, and he's got a juicy health set, especially if you have Black Bolt with him. He clears all the vulnerables from self and hero allies, does a huge heal. Like, if Hank gets this off, your first attack is going to be a loss. All right, so we have a giant, oh crap, this is our Doomsday Countdown, if you will. Plus, okay, the Doomsday Countdown is like hyper sped up. Then there's Captain Britain. When Captain Britain comes to the game, it's Jover for everything, all right? So he is going to be in Crucible. Speed bar cannot be filled or reduced by any character from themselves, allies, or enemies. This does not apply to speed bar gained through normal means. He is the exception to the rule. Captain Britain does stop speed bar gained on spawn. So in the case of Iron Patriot and let's say Mesto, they don't stop the on-spawn speed bar. So like Cabal does not stop highlights on-spawn speed bar. The reason for that is because the vulnerable gets applied first, and then it stops the speed bar, but the passive of the on-spawn speed bar happens first, right? It's another order of operations. It's a very complicated thing. And same with Mesto. He's got to actually do his expose to the characters before they stop getting speed bars, so the on-spawn stuff still happens. Captain Britain is the exception to that rule. So if you go in here with new warriors, you are not going to go first. Like, if they don't have speed up, you go with new warriors, you're still not going to go first because you do not get the on-spawn portion of things. All right, so that's very important. Black Bolt he's basically a health stick. 50% max health is nothing to turn your nose to. Really good. Mr. Fantastic is assist, and Iron Man is scrap metal. You're not going to use them. So those 3 obstacles, the no speed bar, period, reduction, gain, nothing. Speed up on spawn plus the, hey, if you let me take a turn, it's over for you. And then Shuri stopping enemies from getting speed up, villains, and stopping the counterattacks. This is the big problem with the Illuminati. But that's not the giant picture here. The regular Illuminati team is going to be super beatable. Let's go check out some footage. Alright, so here we are in test, and this is a live Crucible setting. I just want to point out a few things here. The enemy Illuminati team is all gear tier 17. They're all 7 red stars, ice level 5, all T4s equipped. My team is gear tier 18, 7 red stars, ISO 5, all things equipped. That's just how testing goes in the playtest, unfortunately. So, slight punch down. When they are actually built up to the same gear tier levels, star levels, T4s, all like that, they're actually, I think, like 100k higher. We did this on the in the tournament, and it works similarly. There's a lot of big takeaways here. So the big issues that we had, the speed up on spawn, Vulture solves that. They don't actually get any speed bar, but we don't get speed up. So the way it works is our team spawns in, the enemy team spawns in, passives happen for our team, passives happen for the enemy team, and then Vulture in particular, on his kit, he has a third passive that hits. So it's like passive check offense, passive check defense. That's why Shuri's going to get charged and Hank's going to get speed up. Then Vulture's third passive hits, which is then going to take the enemy's speed up away, give it to Superior 6, and give the enemies slow. Hank makes it so the enemies can't get slow, and Shuri makes it so that we can't get speed up. So only one part of Vulture's passive hits in this regard, and that is the taking speed up off of them. But with Black Cat being a faster character, she goes first, and then Hank Pym goes after that. And once Hank Pym goes, as we talked about, 2-turn safeguard, barrier healing, it becomes an absolute slap fight where Goblin is doing his best. Now this, again, is on a punch down, right? Pretty tough. But let's be real about this. For 90% of players, how much of you are going to do punch acrosses? With a JTD account plays, for like the top of Crucible, yes, we're going to be doing punch acrosses. Or punch ups, because the team is doing better stats. But there is a very shiny difference between the average players, Superior 6, and the average, medium spenders, Captain Britain Illuminati team. This is actually going to win, by the way, but it's very, very sketchy to say the least. Actually, I think it wins. I forget. Diamonds. The shiny elephant in the room is those very, very pretty diamonds. So if Captain Britain had targeted Goblin there, it would have been over for sure. Yeah. Oh, maybe it's still over. Captain Britain's still going to get it done. Captain Britain still gets it done, so it's over. Okay. You have the ability to put diamonds on your Superior 6 members. Your Slayer, your Craven, your Vulture, and your Doc Ock, though that is Dark Diamonds. They are for sure going to be vendoring off the diamonds for this Illuminati team, because the team is too powerful, and like I'm saying, when it's a punch across, nightmare. When it's a punch down even slightly, check this out. So this is the exact same team, but I took, I guess, who was it I took off? Doc Ock? Whoever was the fifth character there. I took them off so that we have a higher speed set. So Vulture takes the speed up off the Illuminati team. Emma makes it so that all my characters get to go first. I put Raider on Green Goblin, and it's a wreck. Now this is only one gear tier difference. Imagine now the benefits of diamonds. So one gear tier is 20%. Imagine 2 diamonds. What is that? 30%, and then 3 diamonds is 50%. Imagine the absolute astonishing difference it's going to be when you have diamonds on your Superior 6 laying into these guys, and they will lay into them hard, right? But there's an X factor here for the next season's room rules, and that's going to be stage 4. Now, the way it was discussed with us is that the room wasn't going to stop characters from having their ultimate on spawn. It's just going to make their second ultimate take longer. That's what that was told to us. But what was it, 2 seasons ago, the stage 4, it worked the way that we saw it work in the tournament, where also 2 turns away. So Green Goblin in this case would not have his ultimate available. So the question is, are they going to fix that stage 4 to act like they told the envoys it's going to work, or are they going to leave it the way we saw in the tournament? If they leave it the way we saw in the tournament, then even a giant Superior 6 may fumble against the Illuminati team, because without that Goblin ultimate, it's tough, right? It's very, very tough. That Goblin ultimate does so much splash damage to everybody. Then we use specials from Craven and a special from the Slayer. But will we make it that far? Now, the answer is, if we don't have ultimates up, you kill Hank Pym. You kill Hank Pym, that takes away the speed up on spawn. You could then follow it up with something else, or you take out the Black Panther Shuri, and then you could use Masters of Evil, and hopefully you've done enough damage to Hank along the way. But I still think Hank Pym is probably the right call, or Captain Britain. And if Captain Britain's smaller, then maybe that's your option, right? So, even with stage 4, if they have a 5-star team, and you have 1 or 2 diamonds on your Superior 6 members, I don't think the Illuminati team will hold up. They'll definitely tax your efficiency, and then say you're a free-to-play player and then you don't have them on defense to do the same to your enemies. Then you are at an extreme disadvantage. So let's not get it twisted. I'm not trying to say that the Illuminati are going to have no impact for the mid-spenders, mostly because of Stage 4. If Stage 4 didn't exist, Superior 6 is going to walk over Turner Puncher. And by the time we get to next season, I imagine that will be the case. I don't think we're going to get a repeat of Stage 4. If we do, we'll know why. You could just cite this video as why. So there's gonna be like this. They didn't give them the global rule. They gave them this room to make them absolutely succeed. The other room that could be a problem would be Stage 5, where the Superior 6 members are gonna lose offense up. So even though Goblin gets to ult, they don't have offense up. So that could be a big problem because Stage 5 you're gonna lose all your buffs on turn. I don't think that'll be as big as Stage 4 as far as impact goes. If you have diamond characters facing into like 5-star characters, I think like even without the buffs that get the offense up that Slayer gives, I think they would still easily 2-tap like a diamond, 3-diamond Goblin or even 2-diamond Goblin with a 2-diamond Craven. Even without offense up, I think they just wipe the board before anything matters. I really do. So that's the situation for, you know, light spenders, mid spenders, and the free-to-play hardcore people that are going to be around there. But there's another thing we need to talk about, and this is where it gets funny, guys. So right here, Stage 4 and 5, I'm kind of like, oh, okay, like it's still going to be a problem, but with the power of diamonds on our farmable characters, as opposed to these new characters are going to be just selling the diamonds for, I don't think it's going to affect the vast majority of players, which is good. And we've been kind of saying, or I've been kind of saying, like, this whole Captain Britain thing, this doesn't really impact spenders because they were going to buy those characters anyway. They were going to buy Captain Britain anyway. But knowing what we know now about the Superior 6 into this team and the potential for it to work. Like, we got it done in the tournament. I actually did beat an Illuminati team. It took 3 hits, but there was still learning phase. I could definitely get it done in 2. This does kind of target the Krakens. Because you need to get the Illuminati team up to a point where this can't happen. But there's another character, 2 characters, that can come in here and possibly make Illuminati unclearable. Literally a room you have to avoid. You just don't do it. You do 5 rooms. Let's go talk about those 2 characters. I am, of course, talking about Mephisto. Not just Mephisto, there's another character we're talking about. Mephisto is basically going to require 2 burn attacks. And with the passives from Captain Britain, Hank Pym, and Black Panther Shuri, good luck hitting this with your Cabal team. You're going to get annihilated. You're just going to prep the Mephisto's ultimate. Good luck with that, right? So, by doing 2 attacks to get the Mephisto's empowered form, which is the big fallout here, right? The empowered form of Mephisto is crazy. To get this to not happen, you have to do 2 burn attacks. And if you don't, well, the enemies are going to get 3 death proof, safeguard, defense up, offense up. Your team is going to get trauma, defense down, offense down to 3 bleeds. The attack gains 1000% extra focus, unavoidable, cannot be blocked, counterattack, and then the battlefield effect comes in. Monstrous. Absolutely monstrous. So if you did do 2 burn attacks, and then you try and hit it with Superior 6, hey, maybe that could work. Unless, of course, it's in Stage 4. Because then who are you going to kill? You going to go for the Mephisto? Okay. And then Black Panther Shuri, Captain Britain, and Hank are going to do all their abilities. They're going to mess you up. Are you going to go for Captain Britain? Well, Mephisto's going to mess you up. Shuri's going to mess you up. Like, in order to pull abilities from this team, you're probably prepping the Mephisto ultimate for the 3rd hit. And because the Illuminati is going to protect Mephisto from all the things that did cause him issue. Think about, like, new warriors are dead on delivery against Captain Britain. They go down to, what, 126 speed, 125, and then it drops off a cliff to, like, 120 after that. They are DOA, or I guess 128 on Gwen. And then they're going to get ripped to pieces by Black Panther Shuri, Hank Pym, and Captain Britain with the speed up before anything happens, right? All right, well, you know, Superior 6, they'll do their best. They'll stop the speed up. They'll get to go first. Emma's gonna let them all go. That's really cool, right? Except stage 4. So now you're not ulting. You got to pick your poison. Stage 5, now you don't have offense up, so you're doing very little damage. Or maybe, just maybe, people throw Nightcrawler in. And Nightcrawler's effect, where, we'll fight it here in a second. The speed of this character and each ally cannot be reduced, can only be reduced by slow. He prevents Emma. So if you were to do Mephisto, Nightcrawler, Black Panther Shuri, Hank Pym, and Captain Britain, surprise! Your Superior 6 will not go first. Shuri's going to go first. And then it's going to be Hank, and Hank is going to cover his team with all the good stuff. Because you know why? There is no need on Black Panther's kit to have a certain amount of Illuminati allies. There is no need on Hank Pym's kit to give speed up to a certain amount of allies. If this character has 2 or more Illuminati allies, enemies cannot gain regeneration, and heroes cannot gain slow. So even just having the 2 Illuminati allies is enough for Hank Pym. And then Captain Britain, he doesn't need nothing. He's just like, hey, in Crucible, speed bar cannot be filled or reduced by any character. You could literally put him as a plug-and-play character if you really wanted to. So the theory crafting to make this monstrous team is there. I haven't got to test this yet. What I will tell you is Black Panther Shuri, plus the 3 reworks with Mephisto, were giving people a real hard time. New Warriors were starting to fail. People tried to Cabal only to realize that Black Panther Shuri shuts that shit down real quick. Now that Hank Pym is in the game, it's going to be speed up. When Captain Britain comes, all bets are off. There is a real chance that the 3 new Illuminati members, plus Mephisto, plus maybe Black Bolt, because, you know, there's going to be 2 exhausts. Black Bolt comes in, gives them a little bit more health. Or Nightcrawler, so that Emma can't get ahead of them, so that nobody can get ahead of this team, right? If you don't hit this with Superior 6 Emma, you don't get to get ahead of this team, because you need to remove the speed up, and you need to have faster stats than them. There is a real chance that this is just going to make Stage 4, possibly Stage 5, simply unclearable. But not to the regular players that don't have Mephisto or face Mephisto every day. Not to people that even if they do put this team with Mephisto, they have a 3-star Captain Britain and a 3-star Shuri and all that kind of stuff, right? Because you'll still be able just to muscle that out by doing your first hit with Infinity Watch, pulling the ultimate from Mephisto, and then going in and just pausing the game, and then hit it with Superior 6 after that. Like, you just let Shuri do an attack. She can't ability block you because you have Goblin, right? The difference will be when the diamonds come out to the Illuminati team. And it's funny to me, because it really did feel like this was so targeted at free-to-play and stuff like that. I think there is real potential the Illuminati team breaks Crucible at the highest levels. Wouldn't that be sweet poetic justice? Fighting for the exclusivity, making the team as absurd as it is, not understanding, or maybe they do understand, meshing certain characters together, how that would break things. Kind of crazy. And then, of course, the counter argument to all this is, yeah, I'll just use my Mephisto on offense and it'll be fine. You just won't have your Mephisto on defense then. You're taking a much harder matchup. I'm not sure what team with Mephisto. I get maybe Mephisto with Superior 6 would get through the other one. I'm not sure. Maybe, maybe not. We'll find out. I'm sure we'll find out. I just think it's like ironically funny how absurd this team is going to be. We learned so much from that tournament that we did, and other people started to chime in with things they were thinking of. This is peak comedy for Marvel Strike Force. But long story short, the good news is that for the regular player, unless you are always facing up against Kraken after Kraken after Kraken, if you see a low star level Illuminati team and they are not in stage 4 or 5, Emma plus the 4 Superior 6 member we showed, that is your Vulture, Spider Slayer, Kraven, and Goblin, wax them. Absolutely wax them. If they are in those rooms, pick your target, rip that target apart, see if you can sustain through the end. I definitely have. I think I tested this team 7 times now, and even if I couldn't get the kill, I was still able to, through Goblin's passive, just throwing those bombs, went to town. So, value for Superior 6 through the frickin' roof, which is fun, because Superior 6 is such a good war team, such a good tower team, such a good PvE team, such a good Crucible team, that it just feels good to be able just to put more into them and not feel bad about it. So I think that's super cool. And I'd be interested to know what you guys think. We saw this team in the tournament. We saw how oppressive it was. We saw lots of interesting interactions, like Masters of Evil can't be the second team that hits them because then Black Panther Shuri's already charged. We saw all that kind of stuff. So I'm really interested to know what you guys feel about what we talked about here in this video, and also what maybe I missed. Let me know in the comment section below. But for right now, have yourselves a beautiful rest of your weekend. Stay happy, healthy, have fun, and I'll talk to you next one. Bye, guys. That's it for the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Stay happy, healthy, have fun, and I'll see you in the next one.